Welcome to Something Unoriginal. On today's episode, we're joined by Sam Lalli. We discuss why he became a Charlotte Hornets fan, life as a software engineer, getting into a car accident while going through a car wash, and a little on his fitness journey. Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed this episode, please like, follow, and rate the show. It helps us grow and keeps the episodes coming. Also, follow us on Instagram at Something Unoriginal Podcast so you never miss updates on the show. Thank you. And we're back. Sam Lalli. How you doing today, man?
Oh, I'm good. Full of Mediterranean food.
This is good stuff, man. I really enjoyed it.
I'm
glad you enjoyed it.
I don't think I'd move to Greece, but I'd eat their food once in a while.
Lalli, you, my friend, you're one of the only self-proclaimed Hornets fans I've ever met in my entire life. We're currently watching the Jazz game while this is going on. What's the story behind that, man? Why are you a Hornets fan?
Yeah, so as we watch the Hornets just get blocked on every layup they've had today. They actually didn't make a three. Sixth game this season, they haven't made a 3.5, so
it's painful.
Take that stat for you. No, I'm Hornets fan, wearing my Hornets jacket. I go every year to the Jazz Hornets game. Didn't make it this year. You know, I even went during COVID. Tickets were like $200, spaced out seats, wearing a mask, and I was there. Did they win? No. But was it worth the money? Probably not, but I'm a loyal guy. But if we want to retrace our steps to why I'm a Hornets fan...
I want to get to the bottom of that one.
Okay, well, let me take you back to 2009, Eastern Conference first round, Bulls-Celtics.
Okay.
Might be one of the greatest first-round playoff series of all time. Now, you may remember the Celtics that year because they won the NBA championship, but they had to get through the Chicago Bulls first.
Mm-hmm.
And anyways, there's a player on that team, Ben Gordon. I don't know if you know who Ben Gordon is.
I've heard the name. I do not remember him specifically as a person, though.
Played at UConn, won a sixth man award. You know, he's
the real deal.
I probably think he's better than he is. But anyways, I was a kid watching that series, just watching Ben Gordon, a sharpshooter from the outside, and Ray Allen just go back and forth. Similar to like a Jamal Murray, Donovan Mitchell bubble series where they just both have like 40-plus points each game, overtime, double overtime every game. Most enjoyable series of my life. Anyways, as a 9-year-old, I'm just in love with Ben Gordon. So for my 9th birthday, playoffs are what, like April, May, beginning of June. My birthday's mid-June. Asked my mom for a Chicago Bulls Ben Gordon jersey. Love the jersey. Wake up the morning of July 1st, maybe 2 weeks later, gets traded to the Detroit Pistons. Oh. So, that started a bad streak of jersey purchases. But I just, because I love Ben Gordon, I said, hey, I'm just going to follow him wherever he goes. Yeah. So from Chicago Bulls fan to Detroit Pistons fan, I remember my first time seeing Ben Gordon in person. My dad, he takes me to a Detroit Pistons Utah Jazz game, lower bowl, like where they give you the program.
Ooh,
and I'm like,
a good place to be.
I'm a kid in a candy store. Like, man, I just can't wait to be a dad. Like, the little things just stick with you forever. But anyways, so Ben Gordon goes Chicago Bulls, Detroit Pistons. He's there for 2 years, and then he gets traded to the Charlotte Bobcats. So there I am as a Charlotte Bobcats fan in 2012 when they had the notorious, 9-game season win?
Yeah,
worst season of all time. Yeah. So that's where I'm at. Still get a Ben Gordon Charlotte Bobcats jersey for my birthday.
My man.
I have pictures. I ended up donating it because just wanted to let someone else live my dream.
Yeah.
But anyways, I kind of, they let Ben Gordon go 2 years later. I don't really know what to do, right? I'm just a kid who loved a player who's no longer a player. And the Hornets that year announced that they were going to go from the Bobcats to the Hornets. So I said, hey, I'm going to just stick with it.
Just be a Hornets fan.
So I've been a Hornets fan ever since. Yeah.
So your middle name is Gordon.
My middle name is Gordon.
Did you change it legally to Gordon after the whole Ben Gordon thing, or was it already Gordon?
I was pre-Gordon, but no, that's just kind of a coincidence. I thought he was so cool. And, my 2 childhood sports icons are Michael Vick and Ben Gordon.
Wait, why Michael Vick?
I love Michael Vick. And
even the dog thing?
He found God in prison, so it's It's clear. I read
That's
his book. It was a good book.
That's all that matters.
But you may be wondering, where is Ben Gordon now?
Yeah, what's he doing?
So, just like a couple months ago, I was just reading, and turns out he was back in Chicago, and he assaulted a McDonald's worker and got arrested. So, I'm like 0 for 2 on childhood icons going to prison. Michael Vick
For
and
violence
Ben Gordon.
specifically.
I'm not a violent person,
No, not at all.
but I love giving people second chances.
Yeah, for good reason, honestly. That makes a lot of sense.
So that's also why I'm an Eagles fan, Michael Vick. So,
Really?
yeah, they're doing well.
Okay, I genuinely don't know anything about Michael Vick other than him playing for, who was it, the Ravens?
Atlanta Falcons.
Falcons.
Yeah, he's like
Sorry, G-Money, I know you're a Ravens fan. I didn't mean that in any harm way.
he's like the greatest dual threat quarterback of all time, and I'll take that to my grave. He's like the first one ever, also, arguably, but he's just so fast and has a cannon. Like, you just go look Michael Vick highlights, and you'll be blown away.
And he was the man.
He was the man. He's like an Allen Iverson, just like brought swag to the game.
Okay.
And then obviously, like, may or may not have used pit bulls for violence. I don't condone dogfighting or violence. But if you want to know more about the story, read his book. That's a book plug for Michael Vick if you're listening. I think you're a great guy.
What's the title of the book?
I don't know.
Just look up Michael Vick's book and
Michael
you'll
Vick,
find it.
Michael Vick biography, straight from the projects to Virginia Tech to the Atlanta Falcons to prison, and then the Pro Bowl with the Eagles. The Eagles were the only team that gave him a second chance, and he had some great years before he retired. So that's why I'm an Eagles fan. I have a picture of me in an Eagles jersey throwing up some West Coast gang signs that may or may not be released if the Eagles win the Super Bowl, pending if that makes me lose my job or not. I don't know if that would...
Consult HR before those pictures
I don't
come
know
out.
if that would self-incriminate me, but it is a good picture.
That makes sense. Speaking of pictures of you, by the way, Sam Lalli Wallpaper Wednesday.
Oh, man.
What? Just, I need to know more.
So, yeah, on Instagram, Sam Lalli, you don't have to follow me. But if you do, you'll always know when it's Wednesday, because I post a picture of myself for Wednesday, and it's a self-proclaimed Sam Lalli Wallpaper Wednesday. So, I've always loved the shower, taking a nice shower. And my parents' shower, it's got like 2 heads. It's big, gets steamy. There's a place to sit down. It's an all-you-can-eat buffet for hygiene. It's great. But I was just taking a funny Snapchat video in the shower because that's kind of just something I would do.
You always eating like a banana or yogurt or something
I was wearing
in the shower,
some funny sunglasses I got from Amazon. I don't know. I'm just a meme. But I took a video and I looked hilarious in the picture. I was like, that's funny. And so it turned out to be Wednesday. And I was like, you know what? Like, why don't I just throw this on my Instagram story?
Keep this ball rolling.
Call it Sam Lalli Wallpaper Wednesday and just see if I can get a laugh or two.
Mm-hmm.
So I did. I got a couple laughs. But I was surprised because most people were like, so what's up for next week? Next week? I don't got anything for next week. They go, yeah, well, you got to keep it going, right? I'm like, okay. So it's been almost 2 years. It's been over 2 years, almost 3 years, actually. It'll be 3 years in October. So I guess like 2 years in some time. But yeah, every Wednesday, I haven't missed a single week.
So
Pretty
you've
crazy.
since added them to like an Instagram highlights page.
Yes, there's a highlight on my profile. You can see every wallpaper ever released. There's 52 per reel because it's, 52 weeks in a year.
Yeah, that makes
So,
sense.
Year 1, year 2, and now year 3. So
When does it switch to year 3?
October.
Okay.
I don't know. It's like the 3rd week in October.
It's right around my
the
birthday,
anniversary. Yeah, it's for you.
Thank you.
I did it for you.
I appreciate it thoroughly.
I probably was like, you know what, Carter, he needs a wallpaper. I really was just trying to save people. You never know about having a good wallpaper on your phone. So if you ever need one, or if you don't know what day it is. But I think the real reason I kept it going was I just kept running into people. Like those people you follow on social media, but you're not really friends with?
Yeah.
But you know them kind of. I kept running into people that like I wouldn't have never talked to, came straight up to me, dude, love the wallpapers. I'm like, okay, well, I've never spoken to you in real life, but thanks.
Yeah.
And then I just had to keep it going. I've kind of slacked off a little bit since being engaged. I will say that. No fault of my fiance, just, I don't know. I got to figure it out, but I'm still on it. We'll see how long it lasts. I tell people when they ask the millennium, so.
That doesn't. That's a good point of reference.
Expect Wallpaper Wednesday to end up being until the millennium. So
I appreciate that. And it means a lot to me knowing that you're that consistent. That's the consistency I strive for with this podcast.
Yeah, I guess I'm a consistent guy, but I find like bliss in being consistent.
That's
like
good.
I enjoy it. It's nice.
Would you say consistency is like, I don't know, top 5 traits that you feel like are important to you? What do you think those are?
I mean, you gotta be consistent. Like, it's just all about consistency. Another trait, definitely gratitude. Like, it's kind of cliche. It's something that gets thrown around a lot of Instagram reels. Like, you gotta be grateful. But, like, I don't know. I've just seen, like, just a genuine gratitude for what you have really change your life. Like, there's a quote I love, not to get, like, philosophic, but, like...
It's the point of this podcast. Get into it.
You know, there's a quote, insert religious leader here. Gandhi, Mother Teresa, Muhammad Ali, whoever you want can be at the end of this quote. But it says, like, it's talking about, let us always be content, but never let us be satisfied.
Mm-hmm.
And I just love that because it's like, no matter what point you are in life, you always got to be content, be grateful for what you have, but then also, like, never be satisfied, right? You don't want to be floating. You want to keep going, keep progressing, keep trying to find that next level of whatever it is you want. So
keep pushing, for sure.
That's just always been my life, because I think the biggest thing that people struggle with, natural man, like, just keeping up with the Joneses mentality. It's like my buddy goes out and buys a Tesla, like, you go home and you're looking up Tesla prices. You're like, oh, I want it. I gotta get that.
Yeah.
And, like, that is just the biggest problem. Like, nothing will cause you more unhappiness and just detriment to your life than just always trying to keep up with the guy next to you.
Yeah.
Whether that's, like, socially, in your career, family, like, just any part of your life, it's always going to ruin it.
That's interesting you say that, because I feel like that's something that, especially the culture here in Utah, we're getting way too caught up in. And probably even across the country. I just don't know a whole lot of other areas. But, like, that's a huge deal, man. The whole keeping up with the Joneses thing, I feel like, is becoming more and more of a problem every single day. I don't know how you feel about that or what you've observed, but...
Yeah, I mean, I think everyone just kind of does their own thing, but, I think the biggest miss in life is, like, doing things not for yourself. And that sounds selfish, but it's like, just do what you want to do and just enjoy it and be happy for other people and realize that, like, they're going to do different things. Like, it doesn't have to be the same.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, people go out and do different careers, different things in their life, and I hope everyone makes $1 million and does whatever they want to do, right? But that doesn't impact how I feel about what I'm doing at all. And so it's like, I just kind of keep on with the good vibes, good vibe island, and, like, I think just having that perspective can lead you to a lot of opportunities that otherwise you would have closed, just searching and craving for something that can honestly never be satisfied. Like, there will always be somebody more successful than you in your entire life. So it's like, why try to be the most successful person?
Yeah, for sure.
Like, just try to do what's best for you. And, like, people will say you're settling, but in reality you're not, because you're more happy.
Mm-hmm.
You're not settling if you're enjoying what you're doing and always progressing.
I feel that. I feel like there's this thing between, at least for me recently, I felt like I've been really stagnant. A lot of that has to do with, like, my job. I felt so stagnant. I'm trying to, like, move forward into a new role, or I'm trying to move into doing something differently a little bit, and I'm backtracking, and it's taken, like, a toll on my mental health for sure. I know that in certain parts of your life you felt that way. You've shared some of that with me before, but it's just tough to, like, try and move forward when you don't feel like you have the control. Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah. No, and I mean, life's just tough. Like, no matter what part of life you're at, you're always just trading problems for another, It's like I use like relationships, right? Like, when I was single, I was like, dang, if I just had, like, a girlfriend, my life would be sick, And then it's like I have a fiance, and, like, vibes are good, and it eliminates so many problems. But now it's like we're getting married, and I have to be like, okay, well, what shoes am I gonna wear? Like, what's my tie gonna be? What's my suit like?
Yeah.
And then once we get married and have a house and whatever, it's like, okay, well, we're starting a family. Where are my kids gonna go to school? It's like there's always gonna be, like, that next level of problems, and all you're doing in life is just trading problems. But for me, what's helped me the most is, like, I always just have this image of, like, some, like those people in circuses that spin the plates.
Yeah.
They have, like, a stick and the plate on top, and they, like, spin them. And they have, like, 5 plates, and somehow they're spinning all 5 at once.
Oh, yeah.
That's just totally how life is. You just have, like, one plate career, one plate's family. You just have all your main focuses in life are just a plate spinning. And you feel like you have to spin all of them at the same time. And, like, how do I balance that, right? And for me, I just think, like, there really is no way. Like, there's just no way to spin all the plates at once, but you're not really expected to have all the plates. Like, you just don't want to drop any plates.
Yeah.
So, maybe one week, one plate's losing a little bit of steam. Let's just spin that one a little bit more this week. Maybe next week, another plate spinning. Spin that one. I think we're so caught up in, like, instant results that we're like, oh, well, if I just do a week of, like, only getting better at one thing, like, I'm missing out on so many things or whatever. And it's like, I had my 1-year anniversary at work last September, and I had this, like, Matrix moment where I'm like, dang, I've been here so long. And then I realized that I probably have, like, 30, 35, 40 more years of work in my life left. And I'm like, yeah, 1 year's nothing.
Yeah, one tick on the one check mark off of the list of
I'm like, dang,
years.
did I do enough this year? Oh, I got 35, 40 left. Okay. Yeah, I did good. Good year.
Yeah, you're like, it doesn't necessarily matter, does it?
No, so it's just that's how I do it. I don't know. I could be way off base, but
I like that. That's good insight. I never looked at it like that. Like, you're kind of just balancing all your problems at the same time, trying to figure out which ones to give more attention to.
Yeah, I mean, it changes, like, it can change daily, change weekly, monthly.
Yeah. Interesting, man. Well, you, as a person, you're the only person I've ever known that has followed the ads from Lambda school. You went through Lambda.
I did.
You've told me about this process. I don't know if everybody knows what Lambda is. You want to give the rundown on what it's like going to Lambda?
Best decision I ever made in my life, besides proposing to my fiance.
Well done.
No, so yeah, like, I mean, most people, right? You're 20, 21, you don't know what the freak you're gonna do in life. Take a bunch of BS classes in college. You're like, you're kind of just poking around trying to see what moves. But took a computer science class, intro to programming, and I kind of liked it. It was weird, no background. I love outdoors, played sports all growing up. Not a computer guy.
Yeah.
Not a screen guy. But, like, I kind of liked my class. It's kind of interesting. Like, you're building stuff. It's kind of cool. But then COVID hits, right? Everything goes downhill. Program goes downhill. I'm like, what am I going to do? So I'm trying to get through my class, trying to get through my finals, and I see these ads, right, for Lambda School. It's called Bloom Tech now. But essentially,
interesting. I didn't know they changed the name.
Yeah, rebrand.
How long ago did they do that? Did they do that?
Probably a year ago, I think.
That's
maybe. But, yeah, so all it is, I mean, it's basically, you could call it a coding boot camp. It's a little bit longer than a boot camp. Most boot camps are 12 to 24 weeks. This was like 10 months.
Okay.
So it was a big deal. I mean, I basically quit my job, moved into my brother's basement, didn't see light for like 10 months. And that's just how it rolled. The nice thing about Lambda, great Lambda Bloom Tech plug. You can use me if you want. I'll always talk highly of it, but
we are looking for podcast sponsors, Lambda, if you do hear this, but I doubt it. Anyway,
sponsored by Bloom Tech. Anyway, sorry.
Bloom Tech.
Just trying to plug my friend's podcast, get some money. But no, so the nice thing about Lambda is you don't pay the school until you get a job. And then once you get a job, you pay a percentage of your income back to the school for 24 monthly payments. So they're really invested in you to teach you, like, cutting-edge technologies, and then also teach you, like, how to get a job and help you get placed with a job. So I wouldn't have my job today if it wasn't for Lambda. And now that I have my job in, like, software engineering, I'll never have to worry about getting another job. It'll just be, which job do I want? So, 10 months of sacrifice, about like 60-hour weeks. Like, it was a grind, but, it paid off. It got me the skills I needed to do what I do every day, which honestly has been great.
That's pretty dope, man. I think that's always, like, it was kind of an experimental thing, especially the ads and stuff that I saw for it, right? Like, I don't know that it was necessarily, like, super credible at the time of you doing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But at the same time, you took the leap, and I feel like it kind of paid off.
Well, I mean, it's COVID, right? Like, I'm 20, 21. I'm like, what's the worst thing that can happen, right? I go for 9 months, and it doesn't work out, and I go back to UVU next year.
Yeah.
So it's like, what do I really have to lose? And honestly, when I was in Lambda, there's so many times where I'm like, okay, is what I'm doing actually going to get me a job that will actually pay me real money?
Yeah.
And, like, it totally did. It's crazy. Like, I just had to trust the process along the way, which was scary, honestly, at some times. And, like, I didn't have any money. I mean, I didn't get a paycheck for a year. So I had no money. And just kind of had to put all my eggs in one basket. But it's nice because the nice thing about Lambda is they're not going to do anything for you, but they're going to give you, like, the tools to do things.
Yeah, for sure.
And then it's just up to you to, like, they'll give you a hammer and you got to build a shed, right? They're not going to give you the shed.
Totally.
If you use a hammer to build a shed, I want to get more handy. I don't know.
Understandably so.
I don't know if the hammer's your ideal tool for that. I built my desk that I work on, so that was a fun project.
That is pretty cool. How did you build it? You've showed me the desk.
It's dope. I mean, I got some black walnut, cut it up, got some metal, welded it together, screwed it in. Fun project. I'm gonna get a new desk. It's not very practical for what I do, but it's very heavy, a little too expensive, but it was super fun. So
dabbling in the world of woodworking. That's pretty interesting.
I just like learning new things. It's fun.
Yeah, you are that way for sure.
I mean, cool. Just gotta, gives you something to do. But yeah, honestly, it's been great. Like, I don't know. I wouldn't say I like fully subscribe to like college. I think it's like a big topic for kids our age, right? It's like
huge right now.
I can go to YouTube University.
Yeah.
And like I don't know if that's true. Like I'm not gonna go that far. They say like people go, why would you invest in the college? Just invest in yourself. But people just don't really connect the dots between like paying for college or paying for skills is investing for yourself. They're just trying to like cut out the middleman, so to speak.
Yeah.
But there's so much learning you can do when you just accept the fact you don't know anything.
Yeah,
like once you just kind of put personal vendetta aside and be like, you know what, I am small fish in a big pond. I'm just here to soak it in. You'll learn so much more than being like, no, I know what's good. Like I don't even know what's good, but people at Lambda do.
That makes sense. So you're the second person we've had on the podcast that is a software engineer. Colby Barton is also a software engineer. Shouts out to him. But I don't know a whole lot about that industry. Would you say it's more of an experience-based industry, or do you feel like there's a lot of credibility on people that have a degree? Because Colby, for example, has a computer science degree, and then you went to Lambda.
Yeah, no, I mean, that degree's tough. Computer science is a tough degree. Like, I'll never tell you, like, oh, people who get a computer science degree are dumb. It's like, no, that is hard. Like, my roommate right now, he's grinding right now, and he's building some crazy stuff. So it really just depends. Like, tech is so big, the umbrella is so big with what you can do with it, that getting a degree like computer science is going to just give you well-rounded concepts that you can go out and get a job. But the problem that I found, and that's been really beneficial for me, is there's a lot of people who go through computer science degrees and don't know how to code. They don't know anything about web development, right?
Interesting.
They know like some fundamentals, and what they learn sometimes is like older knowledge. The concepts are the same, but like it's not up to date. Whereas Lambda, like they change rapidly, right? They're changing all the time, and that's one of their biggest criticisms. They change all the time.
Yeah, but they're really just staying up to date.
But they're just staying up to date because I mean, like a coding framework language will come out with updates twice a year. So, in order to change curriculum at a university, it's expensive. It's gonna take a long time. So, it really just depends what you want to do. I just do web development, so I don't really need. There's a lot of things that I could have learned in computer science degree that would really be beneficial, but I think the biggest thing is just getting your foot in the door. Like getting your foot in the door is the hardest thing to do with most things in life, but like tech especially. And that's why I love it, right? Because no one can sit in my chair and do what I do. And that's why I get paid a bunch of money, because like nobody can BS their way through what you do.
Yeah.
And it also cuts down on just like a lot of workplace, oh, well, she's getting the job, or he's getting the job, or they're getting the promotion, or it's like either you can do the job well or you can't do it at all.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about it. But yeah, no, I mean, Colby's a smart dude. Talk to him at your wedding.
Yeah.
I'd say, I mean, he's probably doing great things. Like, my buddy he has a job right now. He has not even finished with his degree in computer science, which kind of is evidence in and of itself, like, not necessary, but it just depends what you want to do, right? For what I want to do and be a specialist in what I do, like, it wasn't necessary, but I had to research it to get to that point.
Yeah. What is it you feel like you do want to do? Or are you already there doing it?
I don't necessarily do, like, I do a little bit of web development in my job right now, but, that's really what I enjoy doing, is just being a web developer. With my job now, I've been able to get to a point where, like, I manage teams of engineers, which is super fun.
Oh, that is
cool. I feel like, I like being a part of a team, growing up playing sports teams, and I just love a team atmosphere. It's kind of fun. I'm not going to say I'm a self-proclaimed leader, but I think a lot of the traits that we're grown up with here in Utah, like, lend themselves well. And you really take for granted, like, your experiences, because people outside of Utah haven't had those.
Yeah, totally.
And it, like, scares them to death to even, like, say, hey, man, you didn't do this right. Can you do it this way?
Mm-hmm.
Like, that scares them to death. But for me, I'm like, hey, man, what's up? Great job, but can you fix this?
Yeah.
Not even hard.
Hmm.
So I think we take that for granted, but I would say where I'm at's awesome, and the nice thing is, like, I'm not in a rush. I've been able to, work my way up a decent amount just purely based off of the work I do, and they seem to like it, so just good vibes all around.
That's what matters, man. Where are you working nowadays?
I work at QA Wolf, so it's weird because when I got the job, first day, I go in my meeting and it's the CTO and his co-founder. It was crazy though. My first day, I get in there and it's the two co-founders and me, and I'm like, so is everyone gonna join the meeting? And they're like, no, this is it. I'm like, wait, what? They had like
This
some
is
other.
the company.
This is the company, right? So there were some other people that were contracted workers
Mm-hmm.
that ended up getting full-time positions. But I was like the first actual hire at QA Wolf, which is pretty wild. I didn't know that going into it, which is total bad on me. Like, I didn't even ask. I just was like, oh, yeah, job, cool.
Yeah.
But there's over 100 employees now, just
Holy crap.
absolutely crushing it in about a year and a half. So no signs of slowing down, especially in the recession. It's really nice because there's not any sort of worry about job security, anything like that. So it's been very good to me. I love it. Basically what they do is they just provide automated testing coverage for startups and other businesses. So when you create a software, there's like a testing process, and we just provide a solution for that because there's not really one. And that's why we're such a good market fit, because like you can do manual software testing, do automated software testing. QA Wolf's like right in the middle of like giving you Iron Man and the suit. So it's like you get the software, you get the computerization, the automation, but then you also have a human element of it where you can have like kind of more technical discourse and talk more through things and complex issues that maybe like a computer, they're kind of like not really work.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, for sure.
So I've helped build out their project quite a bit, and then I just manage a team of engineers who write automated end-to-end test coverage scripts, and then I kind of hoard some technical problems for myself when I'm feeling crazy, and I'll work on those that they can't do, but...
What does that mean?
I don't know. Like, there's just like problems that come down the pipeline that I'm like, well, it'll take them probably a while, take me less time.
Yeah.
In order for us to hit some goals, I'm just going to get it done.
Okay, I see that. That makes sense.
But it's been fun. For some reason, though, my team is just 4 people from Asian descent.
Okay.
Their names all start with J.
Really?
They're the only 4 people with Asian descent with the first name starting with a J in my company. So I think it's a prank. Like, I don't know what they're doing to me, but it is a prank. Like, it's just weird.
As long as they work well with you.
No, they're
and,
great.
like,
No, there's nothing wrong with them, but it's just like, which J name can you give me next? Like, have we gone through all of them? Maybe. But I love it. It's fun.
That sounds cool, man. That sounds way different than what you were doing when I last talked to you about work. Because we haven't talked about your work in a while. But
no, it's going great. I love it. It's been fun. Work from home. I go to the gym at like 2 every day.
Mm-hmm.
I feel... people say 9 to 5 doesn't make you free, but I'm pretty free to do whatever I want, so.
Yeah, I'm with that.
I mean, within reason, right? Like, I got your work done.
Yeah.
But I can run an errand whenever I want to, and once 5 hits, I close the laptop and hang out, so.
That's pretty nice, man. It's interesting, too, because you and Colby both kind of said the same thing, where you're both kind of just, like, really satisfied with where you're at, and you don't mind working the 9 to 5, and you're both like, yeah, this is great. But then Logan was the opposite, and he was like, nah, I can't.
Yeah,
I can't do that.
It just depends on where you're at, like, obviously staring at my computer for 8 hours a day, that sounds terrible. No one likes that, right? But, like, you're just being a victim to your circumstance, I feel like, in that aspect. Like, there's so much freedom and stability that comes with that, with my job, that I wouldn't trade for anything, right? Like, I know how much money comes in all the time, and I know that once 5 hits, I just shut it down, and that's okay. I get time off where I'm actually off. I don't have to think about work. Like, some people, like, will take time off, or they, like, don't have to work full year round. But, like, even when they're off work, they're still thinking about work, right?
Yeah, yeah.
That's just kind of how it is. But with me, it's like I took 2 weeks off at the end of the year. I didn't think about it once.
That's pretty nice.
And I was just hanging out.
Yeah,
right?
that's super nice.
But no, I think it's great. It's just all about what works for you. Like, there's not a right answer for everyone. Like, I hope everybody figures it out for themselves. But
I'm with that. I'm with that for sure. Well, I think the different circumstance, right? You feel comfortable in certain areas. Like, we have this friend that's, like, adamant that it is just not the way, that you're a slave to your job if it's 9 to 5. But I think, like, for a lot of people, like, it's fine. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I just think it's just an attitude thing, right? Like, people don't like making other people money, I guess. But it's like, nah, it's not really how it is. I mean, I get paid for the value that I bring to the company based off of my work. And sure, like, I make the higher up people way more money than I make myself, but like, that's just how it is everywhere in life, because they like mitigate the risk. Like, they're the ones who take the fall for things, right? They're more invested. Like, for me, if this thing doesn't work out, I'll just get a new job.
Yeah.
Whereas if this thing doesn't work out for them, it's over. Game over. So it's kind of like there's a cost there. Some people like the pressure. I mean, I've really enjoyed being like the first employee. Like, there's been a lot of perks, a lot of fun, like a lot of motivating things that have come with that that maybe like a traditional 9 to 5 don't have. But like I said, you're depending on what you do and how good you are at it, like, you can be free. Like, I literally could have my own schedule and do whatever I want. I got to get my work done, but like, it's satisfying to me where I enjoy work.
Yeah.
You know, like, it's not like, obviously work's not your favorite thing in the world, but like, there's a certain level of satisfaction that I get from it that's motivating. And like, work, my perspective on work is like, what am I working for? You know, like, I'm working so that I can, like, you know, one day, like, that's the whole reason I went to Lambda, right? So I could, like, I didn't have a family then. I didn't have a girlfriend. But, like, I was building towards, like, okay, one day I'm going to have a family. Like, do I have things locked in and stable so that I can just build a nice, happy family?
Yeah, for sure.
Because, like, financial instability is the number one cause of divorce, right? Like, it causes a lot of stress, and people want to avoid that instability. So for me, getting something that is stable, that I know what's coming in every month, like, perfect. Because I'll live below my means no matter what my means are, and I'll still have fun doing it.
Yeah, I'm with that. Yeah, you are a really optimistic person, which I'll be real about. That has changed about you. I feel like you used to be kind of negative in a lot of different ways, but you've definitely shifted, and you're way more positive now than you've ever been, I think.
Yeah, it's just a perspective thing. I mean, it comes with time, right? Like, when you're young, it's hard, especially growing up. Like, when you grow up well, and you grow up, like, I didn't grow up the best, and grow up the worst. My parents always gave me whatever, like, was needed, and I worked for things that I wanted and whatnot. But like, there's just a lot of growth that comes when you're like on your own. You're outside that, and that growth period happens for people at different points. Some people get it earlier, some people get it later, but I think it happens for everyone.
Yeah, totally. Here's the thing, though. You are one of the best storytellers I think I've ever heard.
Dude, do you want to hear a story?
I do. I want to specifically hear one story.
Dude, do you want to hear the story about the car wash?
That's exactly what I want to hear.
Okay. So, I probably should have led with this, because I mean, you've probably fallen asleep or discontinued from the podcast by now.
I think it's been pretty engaging and
interesting. But this story, so it's the day after Christmas, right? Go to the gym. After the gym, like, you know what? I haven't gotten a car wash in a while. Like, my Jeep needs some love. And I got a Quick Quack membership. You know, I'm a proud Quick Quack supporter. I think they do it quick and quack. But I go to the one, I'm not going to name the location, but it's one that's next to a gym somewhere in Utah County. Would recommend not going to that one in the future. But so I go in there, right, and classic car wash. There's 2 lanes. One lane is like 20 cars deep. Other lane has no one in it. Like, I just don't know how people don't
see or notice.
So here's me. I'm like, I'm cheating the system, baby. Go in the right lane. I'm passing like 10 cars. I'm like, why are no one in this lane? Car in front of me, brand new Jeep Wrangler.
Ooh.
On like 33-inch tires, big lift. It's got like a temporary plate. So in my mind, I'm like, some mom bought their kid a Jeep Wrangler for Christmas, and he is taking it through the wash, baby.
Yeah.
It's like, good for him, you know. So we go through the car wash, you know, I get in, and like most people, I'm just on my phone. I look up from my phone, and the Jeep is probably a foot and a half away from like the front of my car. And I go, I'm gonna hit him. Yep, it's because you can't move. Like, you're locked in, baby.
Yeah.
So gut reaction, foot on the brake. The track carries me into the Jeep, so I make contact. I'm like, oh, geez.
So this is at the end of the wash. So
this is in the car wash, like near the end, right?
Yeah.
Foot on the brake. I connect with this Jeep. Instant thought, I'm dead. I'm like, okay, well, so I throw my car into park. I'm like, I'm not moving. You're not pushing me in.
Yeah.
I look in my rear view. Here comes this Volkswagen Passat coming down the line. I go, oh no. This Volkswagen hits me. Doesn't realize it hits me. The track like pulls him back, and it hits me again. Hits me probably 3 or 4 times. I'm just taking it in the back. I'm like, man, I thought I liked this. I don't like this. And then it hits me 4 or 5 times until the car behind the Passat, the Chrysler, hits the Passat and they push us together. And then a minivan hits the Chrysler. So there's 5 cars in this car wash.
It's a 5-car pileup in a car wash.
So the Jeep got off the track, right?
Yeah.
That's why it stopped. And it just, gut reaction, hazards. I'm like, dude, the car wash has lights. No one's going to see the hazards. So I'm honking my horn, and it takes the workers probably it feels like 20 minutes, probably a minute and a half, to turn the car wash off.
Yeah.
And I thought I was dead. I'm like, my front's smashed. I don't even want to see the back.
Yeah.
And we're done. It's just over. So they just are yelling for everyone to reverse, right? But they have all, like, the machine parts in the way. So the Chrysler throws it in reverse. It gets just scratched by this brush.
Oh, dude.
I'm like, well. And I'm just sitting there, and I'm like, I'm not moving until you clear me a path. So they clear a path. I reverse. Roll down my window to some 15-year-old worker. I go, how bad is it? Takes one peek at the front, goes, you can't even, there's no damage. And I love your car, by the way. I'm like, you lying sack of... She's like, would you want to get out and look? I'm like, well, I'm in a car wash, so you want me to, like, bust out the door, move the brush? I'm soapy.
Yeah.
So
is the car wash still going at this point?
No, they'd stopped the car wash, moved the brushes, we'd
said.
Reversed, but I'm, like, still, like, soapy, and I just am scared.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
So the next guy comes up, like the manager on shift, and he goes, so our plan is we're just gonna run you back through the car wash. And then we're going to, like, talk about it after. Okay.
Like,
you want me to go back through that thing, huh? Behind the same Jeep? Okay.
Okay, Joshua.
So without even thinking, I just go through the car wash again. And it was fine. I didn't get hurt.
So it worked the second time.
That's good. We get out, and lo and behold, outside the Jeep Wrangler, 16-year-old son and mom, who happens to not speak English, outside the Jeep. And I'm like, well, at least I knew who it was before I got into it.
Yeah.
The Passat is this Eastern European couple who comes at me thinking I'm the one who stopped. They're just yelling at me. I'm like, hey, man, not me, him. And then behind them was this mom and son duo. Mom's just yelling about how this car wash in Glendale, Arizona has sensors and how we don't have sensors. I'm like, lady, I love the enthusiasm, but it's already damage done.
Yeah.
Damage done.
It's over. You can't change it now.
So we felt these accident reports on Quick Quack slips. The 16-year-old kid in the Jeep has to redo it like 4 or 5 times. The mom's freaking out. Felt kind of bad for her. She didn't really understand the situation. Probably thought we were trying to take advantage of her, get her like info.
Yeah.
But we're like, no, your son just really doesn't know how to drive. And I don't really know why you bought him this car, but that's a conversation for at home.
Yeah.
And the Passat front end just absolutely smashed. My paint is just all over. It looks like...
Oh, man.
It looks like when your 3-year-old niece gives you a picture. I painted this for you. It's just a bunch of scribbles. Yeah, that's their front end gone. Oh. My car, totally fine. Right? Like, I get out, I look at the back, like, the bumper has, like, that tow hitch piece, like the pop-out piece you can put, like, the tow hitch in. Yeah. That piece is, like, kind of pushed in. It stripped one of the, like those, like, nuts or whatever, like the clips. Mm-hmm. Other clip is fine. Little scratch. Look at the front. Little scratch action. Nothing crazy. I'm just confused why my car's fine. Luckily, the Jeep Wrangler had one of those big spare tires, so I just kind of pressed up against the tire, so it saved my life.
That's good.
Or else I would have just gotten destroyed.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I came out looking best out of all of those cars, and I was like, okay, well, this happened today at Quick Quack.
Yeah.
But luckily, I got some videos on my phone. I recorded it on Snapchat. I'm just quick with it. I don't know.
Yeah.
But the Quick Quack goes, hey, our manager's not in town, but we're going to check out the video when she gets back tomorrow, and we'll let you know.
Yeah.
Like a week goes by, haven't heard anything, so we call Quick Quack customer support. They go, oh, yeah, we looked at the camera footage. It's that red Jeep's fault. I'm like, oh.
Like, yeah, cool.
Okay, well, can you tell us what happened? No, legally, no. Unless you have, like, a lawyer, like a police report, like, we can't tell you what happened. I'm like, dude, just let me know where he got off track. But,
yeah,
you know, apparently, you know how you get to the end of a car wash and it, like, stops and you kind of freak out for a sec?
Yeah, and you have to, like...
You're like, oh, okay, put it in drive away. It says, like, duck, go at the end, right? So I guess he duck, didn't go, and just stayed there and, like, freaked out that it stopped. So he, like, slammed on his brake, which is because his tires are so big, it, like, kind of tripped the track.
Yeah.
And then his wheel must have been turned or something, but my thought is he probably just put it in drive, floors the Jeep over the track, and just gets pinched between one of like the tire shine blasters and the track, and was just hanging out.
Dude, what a mess.
Yeah, so if you're listening to this, Jeep Wrangler owner, you still haven't returned my text. I don't think you really have insurance. You said you left it at home, but
so you're about to get compensated, is what you're in the process of getting compensated for it.
The other two people are a lot more motivated. We have a group chat. It's called Quick Quack Accident. It's pretty cool.
That's actually kind of funny. You guys all go get Thai food sometime.
Yeah, send like duck emojis, like ha quack. But no, like they haven't returned any of our texts, and we don't really know what to do.
Mm-hmm.
Luckily, I don't think the damage is like I don't really even really see it a whole lot of the time. Like it's just some scratches that can be buffed out. So I think worst case for me, I just go get it fixed. But if I'm like the Passat who's just bumpers on the ground,
yeah,
I'm an angry guy.
Oh yeah, you're pressing charges.
So, but
you're getting in there.
I don't know. Pretty wild, and just Merry Christmas. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
And a Happy New Year.
And a gift to you.
Yep. So
Everybody.
That was fun.
Yeah, I imagine. Two of the other guests that I've had on this podcast, from childhood and like going to school. So you personally know Logan Cook, who was our last episode, and Zeke Polton, who was the second episode.
Yeah, you're really digging into the bountiful roots for this podcast.
I don't know how I've gotten to know all you guys.
Yeah, I don't. Well,
obviously the mission, but
you do know. But yeah, pretty wild. I mean, me and Zeke go way back. First memory, Zeke Polton, we're in preschool. You know, like those like those like plastic kitchens that you like buy your kids that have like, the oven and the microwave and the plastic food. Yeah, so earliest memory is Zeke Polton. He picks up the kitchen and just throws it at some unsuspecting girl in our preschool. We're like 3. I don't know if he had superhuman strength or just in my tiny brain he just looked like the Hulk, but that's how I envisioned it. It was just like full domination. So me and Zeke, that's the beginning of me and Zeke. Great vibes.
For sure.
And then Logan, we didn't hang out a ton in high school. He was just kind of known for having the Hummer, like the big chrome Hummer in high school. He'll probably be real upset that I'm telling people
that you brought this up.
He has a Hummer, but it was always just like really small kid in really big Hummer.
Yeah.
But he was known for just being the nicest guy. Like he was the kid that like hung out with just everyone. Like the kid that just seemed like he knew everybody everywhere all the time. So he was cool.
Very social.
He also had a viral tweet that was pretty funny back in the day.
Do tell if you can. If you can't, then
I don't know. You'd have to go into the archives of Twitter for that one.
All right,
but it's great.
I'll reach out to him for sure.
Logan's dope. Zeke's cool. Also dope. Whatever adjective you want to put there.
Yeah. Insert cool adjective.
Yeah, they're awesome. Definitely blessed to have. Me and Zeke have shared every moment and every part of our lives together. So we can rehearse anything from any part of our life, and we'll know what we're talking about.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, like whether it's preschool, elementary, junior high, high school, mission, period, done.
Yeah.
So hopefully that continues.
Yeah, I hope so too. Zeke's the kind of guy that you can like have a lot of inside jokes with. People probably realize that from the second podcast that a lot of what we were saying was kind of under the radar. Kind of feel bad about that, but at the same time, that's just how it goes with him. But no, he's a good dude. I'm glad that you and him have been friends for so long.
Oh yeah, no, he's like a brother,
Mm-hmm.
Like you just are the best of friends.
Yeah.
But then you also like get mad at each other sometimes. It's like like that brother relationship. But it's like you always know he'll be there. So
for sure.
That's a good Zeke Polton plug. If you ever need a friend who's got red hair,
Zeke Polton.
Polton.
The other thing about him too, though, is in our episode with Polton, we talked about how you've never been invited to the PGA wiffle ball tournament.
We're bringing it back. Yeah.
I wanted to start some beef here.
No beef, no love lost. Definitely never got an invite. Maybe next year. But to be fair,
we'll see how the 2023
I'm not
PGA
a good golfer.
Wiffle ball goes.
I got a baseball swing for golf, so maybe that's it. I'm just not skill set oriented enough.
I am so bad at it that it doesn't even matter.
Yeah, I'm just trying to give excuses to like be okay with not being invited.
Oh yeah, no, it's probably that you're a bad golfer.
It's that. It's because But one thing, so junior high, me and Zeke, we were like unhealthily addicted to FIFA, like the game.
Yeah.
Soccer. We dedicated probably 3 years of our life to playing FIFA.
Just FIFA.
And we even started a club in junior high called the FIFA Club.
Yeah.
It was just an excuse for us to play FIFA more without our parents getting mad.
That actually makes a lot of sense. That's a smart thing to do.
Yeah, it was dope. But, like, we got to, like, the top #1 division in the world of that game.
Are you serious?
So me and Zeke were, like, really, really good. And now it's, like, we're casually okay.
Yeah.
And we just, like, can't pick it up. Because we just know how good we've been in the past.
Yeah.
We just, like, can't.
And you've regressed.
I'm retired.
And so...
It's like I'm sure how Michael Jordan feels when he picks up a basketball and airballs it.
Yeah,
He's just like, yeah, no, not touching that.
Like when he went back to the Wizards.
Yeah,
He
exactly.
probably felt just like that.
Yeah, so that's
Still took him 2 seasons.
And
though.
it's hilarious because the FIFA soundtracks always hit every year, and then 2 years or 3 years later, songs would get famous. And me and Zeke would always just smile because like, dude, FIFA 14 soundtrack, baby.
Yeah, we knew that before.
Like, we knew that song. So that's why I don't really play video games anymore because I get sucked in.
Yeah. Dude, you get really good at games and then roll with them for a while.
Yeah, I can't, like, had a good Fortnite phase. I can't.
I remember that.
But now it's like I work on my computer all day, so new hobby, gym. That's like the gym has become my video game, I guess.
So you mentioned to me that a year ago you kind of started going to the gym. 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
2 years ago you started going to the gym. You weighed 120 pounds.
I did.
And now you're at 160.
165. 164 on the scale today.
My man.
Lock it in.
You put on some weight.
No, it's been
in
crazy.
a good way.
No, yeah. I mean, sometimes I think I'm chubby, which I'm not chubby, but.
So run me through that though. Like what motivated you and got you there in the first place? Because that's always the hardest part. But 2, what's kept you coming back, and how do you kind of maintain that?
Yeah, no, so that's honestly I could talk about the gym all day. Like I love it, and it's not like that, like Chad bro, like gym,
be taking them subs,
like
bro.
skull crushing mindset, or like the flip side where it's like she broke my heart, I will kill you mindset. I'm like a happy medium. I'm like, hey, I'm here. I like the memes.
The memes are good.
And it's a great balance in my life. But anyways, so I tore my labrum, my shoulder.
Yes, I recall.
First time my shoulder popped out of its socket, I'm in Isabela, Puerto Rico, playing basketball with an 11-year-old who totally baited me into playing with him.
Dude,
2-on-2 basketball.
11-year-olds in Puerto Rico, for some reason, have the potential to be in the NBA, and then they lose it when they're like 15, probably.
Well, he was bigger than me.
That's how
So
it
he's
goes
11, he's bigger than me.
Yeah.
We're playing 2-on-2, and I'm putting the work on him. Junior high was my basketball peak.
Yeah.
And we go to check the ball, and he checks the ball at my feet, and then he pushes me over, like shoves me.
Yeah.
And for some reason, he hit me just right. Shoulder popped out of its socket. So the other Puerto Rican goes, hey, just put your arm between your legs and pull really, really hard, and it'll go back in.
Oh.
So I'm like, okay, yeah. So I do that, right? My whole arm turns, like, purple.
Yeah.
And then there's about 2 or 3 other instances where tackled my buddy, popped out, played UVU intramural basketball, popped out.
So that one real quick.
You know that one.
You remembered.
You know that one
I do
because you
remember
picked
that one.
me up.
I don't even remember where I was. I think it was at home, and you called me and you're like, "Can you come get me? I am at UVU right now. I need to go to the hospital or something like that."
My shoulder was out of socket for probably an hour. It's just dangling.
Oh yeah.
Because he says, I'll go get someone to help you, the ref, right? I'm at the end of the bench for the whole second half. He comes back with a bag of ice. I'm like, no, it's not like that, man. I'm like, feel right here? Yeah, no shoulder. He's like, oh, you should go to the hospital. I'm like, yeah, I'm not from here. I don't know where that is.
Yeah.
Because there's like a place you can go down the hallway at UVU. I'm like, where? He goes, just ask the front desk. Ask the front desk. They point down there. I walk all the way down the hallway just to get there right as like the physician's leaving.
I do remember that, yeah.
And I'm like, shh, okay, Carter. I know you're down here. I got to go to the hospital. So anyways, after that incident, I had to get labrum surgery. So I get the surgery, was supposed to get it in February. They shut down all necessary or critical surgeries because of COVID.
Oh, yeah.
So I waited till like June. So I was in a sling all summer. I'm boating.
Yeah.
Can't do anything boating. Everyone's looking at me like I'm the weird kid because I'm like super small, won't get in the water.
Yeah.
But they just don't know. Like I literally can't hold more than 5 pounds with my shoulder because it's like just got operated on.
Yeah, for sure.
So I don't know. I just did physical therapy, and for some reason, I think it was when I was doing Lambda and I was inside all day. I said I gotta get out of my house and do something.
Yeah.
So I just called one of my buddies who's living close by in Salt Lake and said, "Hey, let's just try the gym. Maybe you still go?" And he was like, "Yeah."
Mm-hmm.
And I've gone, probably 5-6 times since. That was January of 2021. So 2 years this month.
Yeah.
And it's been life-changing. Like, I just feel so much better. Like, if you don't remember it, like in Puerto Rico, I got super sick, got a parasite, couldn't eat anything. Yeah. I feel great now. Definitely can eat pretty much anything. I just feel like healthier, feel like more sharp. Like the balance, like the benefits of the gym are just so underrated. And like obviously the physical changes are awesome too, right? Like you're getting bigger, you're getting stronger, you're starting to put on muscle, like you feel cooler. And that's really helped me because I think like people think about like confidence, self-esteem, body stuff in regards to like people who are like heavier.
Yeah.
But like it's definitely a thing for people who are super skinny.
Oh, for sure. It's been a deal for me for my entire life too.
Yeah, like I've always struggled. Like baseball, like I don't know. I must have been some freak athlete to be as good as I was at baseball with how small I was. And I would always be like, I'm not small. I'm a big guy. Yeah. I look at like videos of me now. I'm like, dude, did you go through the door did you go under the doorway? Like how did you did you turn sideways and they didn't see you? Like I was Stanley. So small, it was crazy. But yeah, now it's just been great and it's honestly fun. Like it's so rewarding to just like break your records, to move stuff, to just get stronger. And like, trust me, I started at ground zero. Like when I started, I couldn't lift more than 10 pounds with my right arm, like because of the surgery.
Yeah. But
also because I was like genuinely that weak. Like I didn't do any physical activity with my shoulder, my arm for, 8 months of recovery. And then my other side got, really weak too. And I was just not eating a lot. And now it's like, I'm hungry all the time and it's great. Like I like enjoy having an appetite now. Whereas before it was like when I was hungry, it was like a chore. Like, I gotta eat.
I'm with that.
So I was like the classic, like, my metabolism doesn't let me get bigger.
For sure.
It's just consistency.
You just couldn't even force it down or anything, yeah.
Yeah, because like people say, I can't go to the gym because like I can't put on size because I can't eat, and that's just like not true. Mm-hmm. Because I was that guy. I said the same thing, and like I gained 25 pounds last year, and it just like happened. Like I just eat. I don't even eat that much. I just eat 3 solid meals a day, have a couple snacks. It's all about calorie-dense foods. I don't know.
Would you say, like, how do I explain it? How would you say your nutrition is? Because that's one thing that, like, I definitely struggle with is, like, when I finally get back into the habit of going to the gym, which I'm so bad at. I'm really bad with it. But when I finally get into the habit of it, like, one thing that I have a really hard time with is, like, I'm somewhat good at getting to the gym, but my nutrition, I cannot control what I eat very well. I will eat anything and everything that sounds good.
Yeah, being smaller, like trying to bulk, right? Like it doesn't really matter what you eat. Like I don't have a great diet. I've ate just an ungodly amount of Pop-Tarts in the last 2 years. But it's like the most calorie dense food ever.
Yeah.
It's like,
it's full. It's completely carbs.
Yeah, it's great. Like I love Pop-Tarts. You freeze them? Oh man, come on.
Really?
Oh yeah. You get a box of the chocolate fudge Pop-Tarts, pop them in the freezer, and just enjoy.
Really?
Yeah.
So you pop it out completely frozen?
Oh yeah.
Really?
What's better is if you have them like not frozen, put them in for like 10, 20 minutes, then pull them out.
Interesting. So they're like chilled.
But I just leave them in now, and they're like hard as a rock. But they're less crumbly, less flaky.
Okay. Yeah.
And I don't know. I just eat them. It's great.
That's kind of cool. Cause I have heard butter. I've heard if you toast them and then throw butter on the one side, I hear that's delicious.
I don't know, man.
In fact, G Money, the editor of the podcast, was the one that told me that.
G Money, freeze your Pop-Tarts, man. Freeze them and tell me. And it wasn't even my idea. It says on the box.
Oh, really?
Like the box you buy, it's like freeze them.
I've never noticed that.
Try it. You're like, oh, okay.
Weird.
Nutrition though, like just all calorie dense foods. I don't like go crazy, but I pretty much eat whatever I want. Obviously. When I hit like an ideal weight where I want to like stop and start like eating healthier, start getting leaner and like cutting back, like I'll have a stricter diet. But even then, like my buddy Kyle, he lost 25 pounds in 5 weeks just because he intermittent fast. He doesn't eat anything before noon or after 8, and he walks the It's like the new craze, like 12% incline, like on speed 3 for like 45 minutes on the treadmill. You do that every day, you're gonna shed weight.
That's because you're hiking. That's what that is.
Yeah, it's great. No, it's wonderful.
Yeah.
And then he just doesn't eat after 8 or before noon, but he eats whatever he wants still. Like, I mean, but I just eat a lot of rice, a lot of protein.
Yeah.
But I'm not even like the best. Like, I hardly take a protein shake after the gym. You know, like I kind of forget.
Yeah.
They kind of make my tummy hurt.
I'm with that.
I like looked up because like I drink these protein shakes and they just destroy my stomach. And I looked up like, why does protein hurt my tummy? And it's like top 3 reasons. 1, you drink it too quick after your workout.
Okay.
2, you drink it too fast. Or 3, you just have like dairy problems. I'm like, okay, I do drink it right as I get home. I do literally chug 8 ounces of water as fast as I possibly can because it tastes gross.
Yeah.
And milk does kind of hurt me sometimes. Like bowl of cereal, I'm fine, but a little more than that's gonna be tough.
Kind of a combination of a bunch of things.
So I'm like, wow, I checked off all 3 of those on why it hurts my tummy.
Yeah.
So slow down on your protein shake.
That's a good move. That's a good idea. I feel like I can't look up things like that anymore, though, because then I always just get, like, the worst things. You know what I mean? Like, oh, my stomach kind of hurts. I've had diarrhea recently. You look it up, and it's like, you could have IBS, or you may have cancer. It's like one or the other, you know what I mean?
Oh, you read those symptoms, and you're never. Just don't.
Yeah. Like, I'm kind of getting a couple headaches recently. Like, oh, you probably just dehydrated, or you have a brain tumor. Like, there's no in between. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm getting a colonoscopy when I'm 50. They tell you should. I'm gonna do it.
Oh, I'm going 40. Not waiting until 50.
Yeah,
I'm getting ahead.
It's funny. It's like, yeah, I don't know. It's crazy, but so I don't know. I love the gym. It's been great, and I love I don't know. I just love. It just makes you feel good. You just feel strong.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's weird. Like there's days where I feel like heavy, and it feels good. It's weird.
Really?
Like a couple days ago, I'm like, I just feel heavy, and I feel good. Like it feels good, but it's been a really nice balance between like coding versus like I have to get out of the house. I got to do something.
Yeah.
So
get those endorphins flowing while you're.
Gym's been nice. Gym culture, tough. I get it. I go to the worst gym I go to the worst gym at the worst time possible for just dogs talking about random stuff that makes no sense.
That specific gym, I don't know if you go to the one I'm thinking of.
Yeah, no, I do.
Yeah, it's
terrible.
I hear like stories about literally how that is the worst place to go.
Yeah, let's just say people are just kind of dumb, but that's okay. They're learning, but people are just kind of dumb. Like the things I overhear, I'm like, man, it's crazy. But that's why I go like 2 hours earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of saves me a little bit on that. But honestly, like you put in your headphones, you lock it in. I don't even notice people are there half the time. Once I get married and have a wedding ring on my finger, nobody's talking to me.
I'm with that. Yeah. I think, too, there's something about being new in the gym that makes you notice more, but I don't think people actually really care or notice when they've been going for a while. You know what I mean?
Well, you just got to remember, like, the thing that helped me the most, like, you got to remember everybody's there for the same reason.
Yeah, for sure.
Everyone's just trying to improve their stuff, whether it's bigger, smaller, thinner, wider. Everybody's just trying to, like, everybody's there for the same reason. So, like, I don't think I've ever heard somebody making fun of someone else for, like, a gym-related thing, right?
Yeah.
They might be wearing something weird or, like, another thing. I don't know. Whatever people give people crap for. But, like, I've never heard, even from, like, the most cynical people, like, oh, they're only lifting 40 pounds.
Yeah, exactly.
When I lift 100. It's like no one really... And if they do, it's like you're just weird.
Yeah.
Like you're a weird guy.
And people kind of understand that, too. Yeah.
Like, there definitely are times where I'm like, I'm tiny, I am small, I lift nothing.
But that's in your head. It's not like you're thinking that of other people.
No, yeah, that's just like personal reflection. But what's nice, that's motivating, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Because, like, hey, I'm just going to hit it. And what's nice, too, is, like, people don't realize form is so important with working out.
Yeah.
Like, if you have like, you could lift forever. But if you don't, like, have good structure to your workouts, if you're not lifting with good form, you're never going to see any improvements. Mm-hmm. So I think a lot of the time people will give it a couple months, but they'll have really sporadic workouts and really poor form. And then there's like, I didn't see anything.
Yeah.
So that's why I've been blessed, is I literally started from, like, square zero.
Yeah.
Like, no weight, doing no weight ever. To now I do know, there's sometimes I look at somebody in the gym and I'm like, respectfully, I could beat them up. And it's a cool feeling. Like, I'll ask the person I go to, and, like, this is bad, but normally it's, like, with girls, I'm like, I could beat up every girl in the gym right now. And then some, like, monster walks past me, and I'm like, okay, I can beat up every girl in the gym but that person.
That's so funny,
You know,
dude.
not that it's, like, a comparison or I'm actually going to, like, swing, right? I would never. But it's kind of a cool feeling, you know? Like, I kind of have these, like, bosses, I call them. Like, just random people that I've, like, associated with throughout my life. And I'm like, okay, that's my boss. That's, like, the boss. Like, I got to beat them up.
Yeah.
And until I can beat them up, I'm not strong enough.
You've played enough video games to know, like, I got to start grinding in order to get to a point where I can,
it's like, you're the final,
defeat that boss.
you know, like, you're the boss. And then the guy I go with, Kyle, he's huge. He's, like, the final boss.
Yeah.
So I'm like, every month, Kyle, is 1 month closer to me beating you up. Like, I tell him that every month. I'm like, dude, next month, I'm that much closer. Like, I'm creeping up on you.
That's so funny.
Like, he texted me today, he's like, dude, imagine what I'll look like in 7 months. I'm like, yeah, imagine what I'm going to look like in 7 months when I'm standing over your body.
That's so funny, dude.
I kind of just, you got to, like, joke about it, make it a game.
Yeah, for sure.
Make it fun, be lighthearted.
Make it interesting, for sure.
Right, and, like, it's not like I have a vendetta against people or, like, I want to beat them up. But it's just funny because I see them, like, on social media, and I'm like, yeah, you're doing what workout? Okay, I'm going to do that, but, like, heavier. You know, it's just a joke.
Yeah, just a way to kind of, like, motivate yourself in a weird way.
Yeah, you just got to find ways to motivate yourself, and but it's been fun. And, like, I mean, I'm always down to, like, talk about it, too. I think it's, like, the biggest problem is, like, people who've never been to the gym or don't know how to go, like, they're scared to, like, talk about it or ask dumb questions because, like, that's, like, the biggest, like, alpha mentality thing you could do is go to the gym, right? So they're like, I don't want to, like, ask a question because then they'll just, like, RKO me through words.
Yeah, that's true.
But it's like, I'll talk to anybody about anything and go with anyone all the time because it's like, I've been there.
Yeah, for sure.
I've been, like, actually curling 5-pound dumbbells, like, for 12 reps, and I'm like, dang, this is tiring, man.
Yeah, for sure.
And now it's like, you know, not even a thing. So
yeah, now you're doing 50s.
Yeah, something like that.
Do you genuinely know what it is?
I do, but I'm not going to tell you.
Will you tell me off the air?
I'll tell you off the air.
Okay. I would
It's
like
not
to
a
know.
competition.
I'm just curious.
Yeah, no, I'll tell you.
Cool.
I'll flex in the corner for you if you want.
Oh, yeah. Take off that shirt.
Yeah, okay.
I appreciate that.
No, but it's just fun. It's fun to compete against yourself and the other random people on Instagram. Like, I will beat them up. And every girl at the gym.
Dude, that is so funny. I've never heard that before. That's
if
good.
only they knew it was in my mind. Like, I just, like, probably look at somebody weird and, like, why is Sam looking at me weird? It's like, because I'm like measuring up stats. Like, can I beat you up convincingly? It's not even like a maybe. It's got to be like without a doubt. Like, that's I don't eclipse the boss until it's like, okay, you are undeniably larger.
Yeah, for sure.
So I'm neck and neck with this guy right now. I'm like, okay. And Kyle's
and the goal is to get him.
Kyle's like, dude, you're bigger than him. I'm like, dude, I don't know. I'm close, man. But it's like, that's the boss. Like, I'm almost through the level.
Oh, my gosh, dude.
I don't know. It's so weird. I can't believe I just admitted that on air, but it's
I appreciate it, though. It gives us a look into your mind.
Yeah, I'm not a comparative person. No, I'm just kidding. It's fun.
I think we are as humans.
Everyone is.
Yeah.
It's just you got to, like, have a limit, right? Like, if they're bigger than me, which they usually are, I don't feel worse about myself.
Yeah.
You know?
That's interesting.
You got to turn the compare. Like, it's just got to be. Like, I'm happy that they're big, too. You know? Like, they grind just as much as I grind. So it's
totally.
Like, but, you know, do I hope they miss a day, maybe? I guess. But no, it's all just for. Like I said, I just hope everybody makes $1 billion and retires at 30.
Yeah.
Because everybody wants to. Nobody wants to work.
Yeah.
So I just hope everybody does. And do I really want to work at 40? Honestly, probably.
A rising tide.
Like, what else am I going to do?
All boats.
What else am I going to do at 40?
Yeah.
Right?
I'm with that.
I'll work.
Yeah. Makes sense. How do you feel like because I've heard this a lot from other people that are going to gyms recently, it's the new hangout spot for high school kids.
Dude, I have noticed that. It's bugging me. And I hate that I'm, like, becoming, like, that guy.
Like, cynical about it?
But I have, like, I literally, I've hit, on my app, on my personal account, so not other gyms I've been to, I've hit 300 times at the gym.
Yeah.
Just on my, like,
that's really
one
good.
gym pass.
Yeah.
I might get I'm at, like, 297, so I'm almost at 300, I guess.
You're almost to the amount of races that Lewis Hamilton has entered.
Yeah, so he's actually one of the bosses. I'm going to beat him up next.
You think you've eclipsed him.
Nah, probably not.
He's a skinny dude.
Neck strength, jeez.
His neck strength. Oh yeah, no,
He's got some quick twitch muscles.
Yeah, that's true. There's some categories that he'd get you.
Yeah, we'll see.
Anyway, yeah. So back to.
But no, I mean there are a lot of high schoolers. It's weird. It's like 2:00. There's like a bunch of high schoolers.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, don't you have school? Like,
Yeah.
why are you here? But I love it. Like, I wish I would have. Because that was the thing when I was playing baseball in high school. Was like, you gotta get in the gym, and I was always like, no, I don't. Like, I hit the best on the team. I don't need to go to the gym.
Yeah.
But I wish I would have gone to the gym in high school, like so bad. Like
Yeah.
I wish I would have done that. But
More reps, more dingers. So.
yeah, I mean, when I see kids in the gym, I like it. The problem is they just don't know how to like. There's like certain gym etiquette, which like isn't like to be a jerk either, but it's just like common things that's like when you're in a public place, you just do certain things because it's like nice, Like you don't just stand right next to someone or right in front of somebody or like be just like overly loud. Obviously, like the gym's the gym. People like grunt, throw weight, whatever.
Yeah.
But like sometimes people are just like overly loud.
Not a Planet Fitness, they don't.
Yeah, no gym intimidation at Planet Fitness for $9.99 a month, which is
Yeah.
actually the same price as every other gym, but it's cheaper here. So
It's weird.
but anyways, plug for Planet Fitness. I went there a couple times, but it's just not for me. But they actually make the most money out of any gym.
I mean, yeah, they franchise better than anybody.
Well,
Boss is coming for them though.
They have the perfect target market. People
Yeah.
who say they want to go to the gym but don't.
Yeah, I'm
Like
with that.
so many memberships they have that never get used.
Mm-hmm. Or people that want to go that want to be included or whatever, and then
New Year's resolution: buy a Planet Fitness membership. I went twice.
yeah, and then you
in
don't
the
ever
year. Yeah.
go back, and then
you're
you
still
have
paying
it for
for
5
it.
years.
Oh yeah, my
Yeah.
parents probably still have their Planet Fitness memberships.
Wouldn't surprise me. Most people do. Yeah.
But no, I mean I like seeing high school kids. It's just like I don't know. I go to the gym. I have like a time limit, right? Like I don't want to be there all during work because I feel bad. So I use like my lunch break, right? So I try to be quick, hour and a half. I got work to do.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't like when I'm trying to use something or wait for something and kids just like aren't. They're not like using it. Like if you're using it, I don't care. But if you're just like sitting there like joking around with your buddies or like on your phone, I'm just like, why?
Just kind of wasting the time.
Like
on
why
the
are we
equipment.
here? Like you just
I'm
do
with
this
that.
in your house, But I don't know. It is what it is. But no, I don't mind younger kids there. But there's this kid in front of me today. I was about to punch him, but that was in my brain.
But it is what it is.
But I smiled.
Yeah, and you sized him up. You knew you could beat him up, but you didn't. You didn't.
I don't know if I could beat that guy up.
Yeah, it'll happen
It
sometimes.
was close.
Anyway, hey man, thanks for coming on. This has been fun. Where can we find you?
You just find me around.
Just on the town.
I'm just your everyday employee. No, Sam
Okay.
Lalli, Instagram.
Sam_Lalli or just Sam Lalli? One
It's
word.
Sam.Lalli.
Sam.Lalli.
And that's
Okay.
Lalli. I'll save you the trouble.
It is
No.
also typed out on the podcast.
Oh, yeah, okay. Well, there
title.
you go. If you were wondering how to pronounce it, it's Lalli. I don't know why people mess that up as much as they do, but
For sure.
they do.
It's Italian.
It's Italian. Yeah, I mean, it is. It's
Cool.
great. But yeah, I mean, hit me up, Instagram. That's really all I have. I don't have Be Real. People say, you should get a Be Real. I'm like, dude, do you want to hear my Be Real idea real quick before I get off?
Yeah. We'll wrap it up with this.
Okay.
Go for it.
Don't use my Be Real idea.
Okay, that's fine.
But this gives G Money some space if he wants to cut out some of my earlier baffles. But so cut out the early stuff because we were getting our feet wet, but now we're locked in, G Money. So it's a play on Be Real. It's called Be Fake, right? So it's like because people are like get a Be Real, right? Get a Be Real. I'm like, dude, I'm at my desk 8 hours a day. Like, what do you want to see? You want to see my desk? I'll send you a pic, right? You want to see my code? I'll send you my code.
Yeah.
So what I would do is I would get a picture of like man on a beach,
Yeah.
like search on you like Google, right? And it'd be like from like a POV standpoint.
Yeah.
So like some guy like in a beach chair with his legs out front, and I would put the camera just so it would only cover that, so it would look like I'm on the beach.
Yeah.
And then I just flip the camera like only my face, you couldn't see the background, so it looks like I'm on a beach somewhere.
This is a good idea.
And then it gets like maybe a little dark. I'm in a hospital room. Got an
Oh.
IV in my arm.
Okay.
It's
Yeah.
like,
There's a lot of different directions this can
oh
go.
yeah, on a bike. I would
Tour de
run,
France.
right? Like I'm mountain climbing. I don't know. It's like I'm snowing, I'm skiing, I'm snowboarding. The possibilities are endless. Just use some GoPro image of you like surfing,
Yeah, totally.
shredding the gnar, and I'm being real,
There you go.
but I'm being fake.
Just some like AI generated image of you like somewhere
But it's you should honestly Google like
Yeah.
POV
Like
on a
obvious
bike.
fakes. Yeah.
No, just like if you Google that, the stuff it's like an arm, just an awkward arm like in the picture with like two legs.
Yeah.
They're the funniest pictures ever.
We're gonna have to take a look at this after the podcast.
Yeah, so
Interesting stuff, man.
I was dying one night. I just like had the idea and I was just looking up every idea I could think of and I was just laughing so hard because I'm like, this is hilarious.
That's self-entertainment at its
But I
finest.
haven't launched that yet. So I guess if someone wants to live through me with that idea, I guess you can. But
I like that idea.
just remember who gave you the idea to be fake. So,
I appreciate it, man. Well, hey, thanks for coming on. Let's do it again.
dude, this was fun. I'll admit I was a little shaky at the beginning. I was a little nervous, but
You always get into a flow by the end of it. It works.
yeah, I just feel like I could talk to you all day.
Yeah. And, yeah. I just appreciate your time, man. But, see you later, everybody. Have a good one.